The Fireside That Never Ends, a sermon on God, love, and the unnameable. This isn't preaching, there's no finger-wagging here, no need for a podium or a pulpit. This is a sermon, which means this is a conversation. Not me over you, but us, side by side, in something sacred. The word sermon comes from sermo, Latin for discourse, a holy back and forth, a dialogue with the divine. So come close. We're not here to conclude. We're here to circle the mystery. And the mystery's name? Well, it's got a few. What God, love, and truth are not. Let's begin where all true beginnings start, by letting go. If we want to know what is, we have to release what isn't. God is not a man in the sky, no beard, no throne, no thunderbolt with your name on it. God doesn't look like your father, or your fears. Love is not a transaction. It isn't, you do for me, then I'll do for you. If it comes with strings, it's a contract, not love. Truth is not a headline, a doctrine, or a weapon. It doesn't scream, it doesn't threaten, and it never asks you to pick a side. God is not your trauma's architect. Pain was real. But God didn't build the maze. God is the exit. God is not the punisher. God is the presence that stayed when everyone else left. Love is not your wound's reward. You don't have to suffer enough to deserve it. You don't have to crawl on your knees. Love was yours before the pain. Love is what will heal it. Truth is not your ego's defense. You can't use truth to win an argument. If you're sharpening it like a sword, you've already forgotten what it is. God is not jealous. God doesn't compete. There's no scoreboard in eternity. Love is not fearful. If it makes you afraid, it's not love. It's a trick wearing love's clothes. Truth is not exclusive. If it can't include everyone, it isn't big enough to be true. You can't package infinity in a pamphlet. God won't fit in your pocket. You can't fold the cosmos into a slogan. You can't franchise the sky. There is no trademark on sunlight. You can't use truth as a sword unless you first forget what it is. Because real truth doesn't attack. It unveils, it frees, it opens hands that were clenched in fear. So we burn the illusions, not with rage, but with reverence. We let fall the dogmas and the dramas. And what remains? What remains? Stillness. The kind that doesn't shout. The kind that waits. A silence so deep it startles your thoughts into surrender. A presence so vast it doesn't announce itself. Because it doesn't need to. What's left is the breath you didn't know you were holding. The mercy you gave without knowing why. The joy that bubbled up with no cause at all. God is what's left when the argument is over. Not the winner of the debate, but the space that held both voices. Love is what rises when the mask falls. Not performance, not posture, just pure presence. Truth is what remains when you no longer need to win. It doesn't shout to be heard. It just is. This is not an answer. This is an undoing, not a form, but the freedom from form. Not a path, but the still point at the center of all paths. That place you never left, but forgot to notice. The many faces of the one. And they all mean the same thing. We talk of God, we speak of love, we whisper truth, but it's all the same ocean, so let's call it more names. Let's turn the prism. God is life, not survival, not hustle, but aliveness without opposite. The kind of life that doesn't begin and can't end. God is freedom. Not the liberty to do what you want, but the freedom from fear, from illusion, from limitation. Love and freedom are two wings of the same bird. God is eternity. Not time extended, but time dissolved. Not tomorrow forever, but now without edges. God is nowness, right here, right now. Not later, not someday. The eternal doesn't wait, it is. So when I say love, I mean the pulse of now. When I say truth, I mean the light that was always under the lie. When I say God, I mean the ground beneath your being. These words are not separate altars. They are the same flame, flickering in different languages. And you are not apart from any of it. You are the wave of that ocean. You are the sunbeam of that light. You are not a separate creation. You are the expression. You are not the one seeking God. You are what God looks like when it remembers itself. The fireside that never ends. Imagine this. We're sitting by a fire. No crowd, no script, no need to perform. And I say, let's talk about God. And we do. We talk in metaphors. We wander through paradox. We cry a little. We laugh a lot. We remember things we didn't know we knew, and every time you try to stand up and leave, I say, wait, there's more. And there is. There always is. Because how do you walk away from the infinite? You don't. You only stop pretending you can carry it in your pocket. The only thing you can do is fall silent, because God is the conversation. Love is the listening. Truth is the space between us. So stay. Not because I have something new to say, but because the saying is the sacredness itself, the paradox. It is all of this. It is none of this. The moment I try to hold it, it slips through my fingers. The moment I stop trying, I am held. To name it is to limit it. To limit it is to lose it. So I'll end this sermon the only way I can, by lighting the fire and falling silent. We are not here to understand God. We are here to remember we were never separate.